thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. It's Wednesday, and all this week we're becoming fear warriors, helping you fight your greatest fear. Some people are scared of bees, other people are scared of heights, and very few of you out there are actually scared of teen dramas. I hope you're not scared of the WB's Charmed. I was kind of weary about Charmed, but since my 70-something-year-old roommate watches it on TNT 2 to 3 times a week, I decided to give it a go. And now, I'm head over heels hooked. So like many of you Day 1 Charmed ones and newbies out there, I was gutted to hear of the passing of Shannon Doherty at the age of 53 from stage 4 breast cancer back in July. It was like we were all mourning Prudence, Prue, Hollowell all over again, with an especially solemn level of finality. Simply put, it sucked. So this is absolutely not easy, and I don't expect it to be easy. But duty bound, I must discuss the July 29th edition of People magazine, picked up from Home Base, unique thrift store in Patterson, for 25% off 99 cents. Not only does this discuss Shannon's life of strength and courage, but it also talks about the assassination attempt on former President Trump and Richard Simmons' emotional final interview with People magazine. Quite possibly the final interview he ever gave for any media outlet, anywhere. These two knew a little something about being the badasses of their generation. These two and one other pop culture eminence that you'll hear about in short order. I actually talked about her once before on this channel. Shannon's article begins on page 32. Beverly Hills 90210 star, Brenda Walsh, Little House on the Prairie star, Jenny, and of course Charmed star, Prue, faced her cancer journey with strength and humor until her death at age 53. But before we get to her, I thought it'd be fitting to pay our respects to Dr. Ruth Westheimer, who passed away at the age of 96. If you knew Dr. Ruth, you knew that she was quite the expert on good sense. Her radio show, Sexually Speaking, her talk show, Ask Dr. Ruth, her books, the documentary Ask Dr. Ruth, not to mention a game, Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sense. I bought it, I reviewed it, the link will be downstairs. For somebody who was a survivor of World War II, a German immigrant, somebody who's small in stature, with that adorable squeaky German voice, becoming one of the world's most foremost experts on good intimacy. In America, anything is possible. So I just wanted to pay my respects to Dr. Ruth. She gave all of us the truth, and many couples spanning generations definitely owe her a debt. But the person that we came here for is again Shannon Doherty, a star with the heart of a lion. This article by J.P. Mangalinden talks about her body of work spanning decades, her fight with stage 4 breast cancer, which began in 2015, she entered remission in 2017 and came back in 2020, then spread to her bones and ultimately took her away from this world. But not before leaving us an extraordinary body of work that, as her Charmed successor Rose McGowan said, demonstrated the passion for craft that's often mislabeled as trouble. Hey, Shannon said it herself, she was a badass. Little House on the Prairie, BH 90210, which was the Curb Your Enthusiasm style reboot of Beverly Hills 90210. Film roles like Mallrats, not to mention a good stint on reality television. Breaking up with Shannon Doherty, Shannon Says, Dancing with the Stars, not to mention her being the first host of Scare Tactics on Sci-Fi. Her venture into books with her lifestyle book, Badass. Oh yeah, and her venture into podcasting, creator and host of Let's Be Clear for iHeartMedia, and recording 5 episodes of the Charmed Rewatch podcast, House of Hollowell, alongside Holly Marie Combs, who plays Piper, my absolute favorite, Brian Krause, and Drew Fuller. All of this, leading her to say that she doesn't fear death. She had a good life. She accomplished a lot of projects and wanted to do more, but in the end, her fate came to her, and she didn't fear it. She stared it down. After all, she knew where she was going, and she knew the people that she was gonna see. Although it's not my intention, really the entire theme for this video is confronting your fate. To paraphrase Billie Eilish, when we all fall asleep for the last time, where do we go? Well, only Shannon can answer that from where I stand, and so can Dr. Ruth and Richard Simmons. Former President Donald J. Trump almost had to answer for that in this article here. It was total chaos. The assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, which happened back on July 13th at a campaign stop in Butler, Pennsylvania. That attempt took out Corey Comparatori, age 50. David Dutch and James Copenhaver were critically injured. Trump suffered a minor injury with a piece of teleprompter glass hitting his ear, but he made it out okay, and the Secret Service neutralized the perpetrator. Guys, let me remind you that this is no way to take down President Trump. You may not like him, I don't like him, but the Secret Service doesn't play around like this. If you try to take him out like this, you will be taken out yourself. So it's like near literally suicide. The only way to take down President Trump is at the polls on November 5th. Not with guns or any other weapon. Please. You don't want to be like the perpetrator, resting in infamy. Or should I say, rotting in infamy, even though I'm not a Trump fan. So, just be mindful of that. I am glad that he's okay, and he's still fighting. And, let's just hope he's okay on the losing end of things come November 5th. That just gives you a clear reminder of who I'm voting for. And although it's not my intention, again, I do feel somewhat compelled to highlight Princess Kate holding court at Wimbledon. Like Shannon Doherty at 90s Con earlier this year, Princess Kate Middleton was greeted at Wimbledon with a hero's reception, a standing ovation as a testament to her bravery. So this article talks about that and her last high-profile outing alongside the royal family. And here we have Richard Simmons' final interview. I know people miss me. His devotion to his craft, better living through exercise and good health, his devotion to his fans, and his request for seclusion, for privacy. And even with that, he never stopped communicating with his fans through calls and emails. He was even working on a new Broadway musical about his life with composer Patrick Leonard. Now there's a movie being made about his life which he gave no authorization to be made. But like it or not, it will be made. Say what you will about his eccentric outlook on life and his equally eccentric demonstration of said outlook in the 80s and 90s through his food mover and deal a meal and strutting to the oldies, walkout and diet programs. But there's something to be said about somebody wanting to demonstrate the good of humanity in all of us. And Richard Simmons did that. Need I remind you that I did a couple of Richard Simmons reviews. I did a Richard Simmons plushie and one of his food mover cookbooks, Cooking on Broadway. There are a couple of other Richard Simmons items on here that need to be taken care of at some point, and we will do it. The most bittersweet issue of People magazine yet gets 4.5 out of 5 claps. You should know that over 42,000 women will die of breast cancer every year, according to the American Cancer Society. So you really don't need me or the Book of Shadows to tell you, especially during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that if you want to make more magic for the people you care about, get screened, get a mammogram, do whatever you gotta do to get the facts, and then fight with all your might. Shannon, Dr. Ruth, Richard, all I can say to you three and the Corey is, blessed be. Before I show you what's on deck for Thursday, let's take a moment to pay our respects one last time to three pop culture eminences who no doubt are resting quite well in the hallowed halls of heavenly fame. So it be. When we're confronted with certain doom, we have a natural tendency in our human bodies to either face the danger or run away from it. It's called fight or flight. Raise your hand if you learned that from watching Fetch with Ruff Ruffman. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.